This week we get to study the creation, and I'm going to teach you again the 1, 2, 3 study. This is simple, it's fast, and it will arm you for the week. This is meant to help you be ready quickly so you can teach your family. 1, you will read the verses on your own. 2, I will teach you what they mean in just a few minutes. And then 3, you can go back in and seek revelation. Okay, so this is where you might want to pause and read through Moses chapter 2, which is the creation story. All right, let's now go into these verses. When I go into a story, I'm trying to see the high view, especially when I'm trying to teach my family or youth. I don't want to get too caught up in details. I want to make sure to identify what I want them to walk away with, and this story is a really, really good example of that. The first things you can notice in verse 1 and 2 is that the Lord creates order out of chaos. He speaks and order follows. One thing you can do is to go through and circle all the days. Verse 5, circle first day. Verse 8, circle second day. Verse 13, third day, and so on. And then just go through and underline the things that are happening in each day. These are all different creative periods, different things that the Lord did to bring order to the chaos and beauty to the earth. Everything He's doing is life-giving. There are stories upon stories within each creation. As you study the creation and each thing that happens within each day, each creative period, let God show you who He is by what He created. For example, if you go into verse 21 and He talks about creating the birds, just pause and notice. Think about what that meant. Think about all the different kinds of birds and their migrations, their different kinds of feathers, their different things that they had for their different habitations. Each one is so unique. If you just chose one of those birds and then took a closer look, you zoomed in, you saw their eyes, the feathers upon that bird, how their feet were created, the exact things they were given to survive in their environment. We then stand in awe of the Lord's creations. Every detail mattered. One of my very favorite phrases is in verse 31, when the Lord says, "And I, God, saw everything that I had made, and behold, all things which I had made were very good." Thomas S. Monson shared this quote, and I have this written in my guidebook. He said, "God left the world unfinished for man to work his skill upon. He left the electricity in the cloud, the oil in the earth. He left the rivers unbridged and the forests unfelled, and the cities unbuilt. God gives to man the challenge of raw materials, not the ease of finished things. He leaves the pictures unpainted and the music unsung and the problems unsolved, that man might know the joys and glories of creation." So in these verses, God shows us how He creates, and He creates things that are good. And we see what He has given us so we, like Him, can also do good work. So now I might go in here, and this is 3 in the 1, 2, 3, and I will look for things that can inspire me and my family. Things like that God can create beauty out of chaos, or that God will speak and order will follow, that we are in the image of God, and that He will speak of His work often. God often speaks of His work, and He calls it good. So I might ask myself, what works are me and my family doing? What chaos in our lives do we need to turn to God to for order? Or I might ask, how can we look at the creation around us and stand in awe of God and marvel more? How can the story of the creation strengthen you and your family? So that's the 1, 2, 3. So 1, you'll read through it. I just gave you some insights for 2. And then 3, you can go in and receive revelation for you and your family. Once this story is upon your heart, meaning will come to you throughout the week. How can the story of the creation strengthen you and your family? It's full of meaning for us.